Welcome to episode 130 of Creators Outlet, brought to you by our friends over at the Ink Marketing team. If you need that little extra push for your Indiegogo or Kickstarter, contact Kevin Gillette over at Ink Marketing and see what they can do for you. 30 years in the business. Check them out for yourself. Also, right now, live on Kickstarter, what happens when you challenge the universe but are not specific in your wish? You get that supernatural zombies, nerds, and oh yeah, the crazies. From the team that brought you There's an Alien in My Toilet, ain't that the truth? Forbidden Rush 5377 and Wonder Duck comes this slapstick, wacky story filled with heart. When two podcasters make a deal with their podcast, the number of podcasts in the world, they sum it up with the help of something supernatural and quickly learn the truth of the old adage, be careful what you wish for, lest it come true. Get your hands on all 3 issues of Catch the Crazies and make your pledge today. Catch the Crazies now on Kickstarter. Get your copy today, inked.pub/Catch the Crazies. And also Catch the Craze podcast on YouTube. Check it out for yourself. And now, just when you think you have all the answers, we change the questions. It's Piper's Pit. Longer around. Piper, what's going on?
Let me know if I echo or anything, because none of my headsets are working with this new setup for whatever reason.
No, you sound good.
Perfect. Okay, I was going to tell you that beforehand, and I forgot.
So, what's up, pussycat?
A lot. Business is good.
Tell us everything that's going on. I know you told us in the us. Hello, when the host is fat, it's an us. So you told me in the pre-show that you're doing fulfillment on another Peregrine book, and you're editing something else, and you're working on something else, and you are still undecided what you're having for dinner before everything closes.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So Peregrine Wings of the Falcon. It's a bummer if you missed out. There's going to be other chances to get your hands on it, though. Is going into fulfillment. I need to draw my my sketch cards. Ooh. So kind of excited, nervous about how they'll be received, because they are going to be the first sketch cards from me for anything. So the first ever anybody getting hand drawn anything from me, really, outside of like my grandma on a fridge and stuff. But
one day we'll raid grandma's fridge. Be like, early works from Piper, now available for the first time only.
When I was really little, and I would send there's like one specifically that was like really she was my fan club for me drawing and doing art stuff when I was little, and I would send her stuff and write on them. I would sign them and then write, "Keep this, it'll be worth money one day." So I'm working on that still.
Nana's going to come up on Twitter and just start selling like all your drawings that used to hang on her fridge.
Yeah, I'm going to see them on eBay. So, and then we're working on Peregrine 2, but Graded Point 5 specifically has a couple of comics in the works that aren't just Reconstruction comics. We are going to try to stagger them release-wise, so we're not trying to run 2 campaigns at one time. We'd rather one be done and all that good stuff. But I've been hired on other books, and I can't wait for one to start getting its art. So I don't know how much she wants the world to know, because it's her book. So I can't talk about that when it's top secret, but I'm editing that one. I've edited a couple couple other books, a couple smaller things. I am editing a book about boobs.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, it's going to be like a source guide dispelling like, you know, the myths and this and that about boobs. So like if you want to portray a bigger chested character, here's a guidebook for, you know, this is bullshit, that's bullshit, this has a little bit of truth to it, who cares, it's fantasy. And it's kind of just trying to remind people that it's okay to have big chested characters because actual big chested women exist, and they're kind of getting tired of, right? And we're kind of getting tired of this shaming the characters because they happen to look similar to us. Like, how is that fair? So it's going to be really cool. Keep an eye on O1 Publishing for that. And then, yeah. I'm writing. I have a story I wrote that is going into Twisted Fairy Tales anthology that'll be on Indiegogo.
Oh,
And I might expand. Right?
My arch nemesis.
Yeah, I saw you had the kids started written up there, and I was like, I don't really. I don't care.
Like,
Indiegogo.
I think it's international that they're just like, yeah, and I'm like, why? So I did my workaround, and I told the creator what I wanted in a package when it's done with the, you know, small percentage of overprints. And I said, you let me know how much shipping is and how much I got to pay for this, this, and this. And then, of course, as far as we're there, then you're going to do a remark for me. And you tell me how much everything is, and I will just PayPal you all that money, and you just ship it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed some people have had trouble with it. What I do like about it from a funding sense, though, is that it takes the money and the shipping right then, so that people don't back and then kind of forget, and then all of a sudden they're getting, you know, it's funding time. And then they freaking get charged for that or get charged for shipping. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it. But some people do have problems actually being able to back things through it. But yeah, that's why very open to listening to people just hitting us up going, can I just buy this when it's done? It's like, and makes sense.
Well, on the plus side, conventions are starting to come back. So
yeah. Yeah, start putting that stuff on the tables again.
Forget COVID. We have con crud.
Right?
You thought COVID was bad. Go hang out at a convention with 37 15-year-olds that all think Axe body spray is taking a shower.
Yeah. I mean, at least con crud is proof that you went somewhere and had fun, though.
Yeah, it's like, I got con crud. Are you gonna live? Probably. If I was gonna die, it would have happened back in 2016 because I actually did die a couple times.
Oh, dang!
Yeah, I'm back though.
Super con crud.
It was only a flesh wound. It was only a flesh wound.
And then I'm co-writing a story called Rift Riders. That the first like teaser is in the back of the remastered Hybrids Sons of Gods issue 1 or volume 1. I can't remember. It's going out through Arrow Comics.
I know those guys.
Yeah, Luke Stone, he is awesome, and he is funding. He does have one actively funding right now. I'm editor on all the other stuff. All his
cool.
Well, not all his other stuff, but all the other hybrid stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm editor, but Rift Riders, I am actually getting to co-write, and I think that's awesome because Luke is such a cool dude.
And now I have to have a sit-down talk with one of my local comic shops and be like, do you remember Arrow Comics from the 80s? Yeah, well, they're back. And I need you to put them on your list so I can order stuff through you, because now it's going direct market, not
So
the other way.
exciting to that, oh my gosh, something like, for the most part, I know I'm just the editor on, but I'm still kind of like, something I worked on is going to touch those shelves somewhere.
Oh, I know. Early on when I was doing this show, one of my first guests was my buddy Chuck Pinot, and Chuck got all excited because he edited a book that Ebas did the art on. So his name and the credits was next to Ebas, and he got all honeymoon excited, and and just to rub it in, then I started whipping out art that I have from Ebas that's all signed. And he's like, oh. Then it was just like a geek show for like an hour of us, pulling stuff out of our collection to look at. It's like, look at this. Isn't this neat? Yeah.
That's always fun, though, geeking out with your buddies.
Oh, yeah. Always a good time.
That's like, I can't play a game of Magic with anybody without us also pulling out like all these other cards and stuff we have just to go, look at this one. Look what I got. Look what I made. Like, look at this deck. I know we're not playing it right now, but look at it.
And next year they're releasing a new custom decks based on D&D 5e.
I haven't been that interested in what they've been releasing recently, so I've been out of the loop on Magic stuff, because I'll play with whatever I've got. My interest in collecting them or making decks seems to come and go. A set will come out that I'm just like, I need to have those, yes. And a set will come out that I'm like,
I gave up on it, and I haven't come across it. I think a buddy of mine had a box that used to be in my truck at his house still. And it's a couple of my custom commander decks that I built, because the regular game was just boring to me. So, and it took up too much comic book money. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, I'll play Commander, because that just means I pretty much never have to buy another card again. I customized the deck, and I was happy with it. And
yeah, Commander's a neat concept. I've played that a few times, and yeah, I'm not like, I've played a few tournaments back in the day, but I was like, no, I just don't want to be one of those where I have to make decks of the current set every single time it comes out. I have to pump this money in. I'd rather just play casually with my friends where we don't give a crap. Like, your deck's ancient. Who cares? You like it? Play it. Like, that's why I only get interested in every once in a while, and then I'll be like, yeah, okay, I want these cards, and then multiple years can go by before I'm like, yeah, I want some Magic cards.
Yeah, I just threw out like a couple of shoe boxes full of Magic cards. I go, I'm not going to list any of these things, and people are going to be looking for like, well, do you have the gold foil edition? If I did, would I be selling it to you, nuts? No. So I just took them and I threw them all out, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Now I would have at least gone through them to see if you were sitting on any of those ones that like have like insane value because they're banned or whatever, because they're so old or this or that, and only like at least held on to those.
I probably I kept all the asshole cards, so I built a dragon deck basically that was green and blue.
Ooh.
So I could sneak in those with a couple of blocks in there, so I could sneak in those. Oh, okay, mill half your deck.
Right, I was about to say, blue. I call blue no decks. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. But do this. Oh.
And in Commander, you have to throw away half your deck. You just lost the game, because now you have nothing to pull from.
Yeah. Blue is extra mean, I feel like, in Commander. So is Infect. I'm surprised Infect is allowed in Commander.
And all that stuff. It just, it hurts my head to even think about it. I started by doing the old Decipher Star Wars game, because, nerding, it was more exciting to play the Star Wars game because, well, I liked Star Wars.
Or is it's already an IP that's established.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun for a while, and I played in a whole bunch of tournaments and stuff, and I enjoyed myself for a while, and then it went belly up, and then Hasbro bought Wizards, and then sued everybody that used the phrase CCG, and I'm like, okay, there,
man.
Mister. I wish I was San Diego Comic-Con suing everybody for using the word Comic-Con. So, when did Peregrine finish?
When did it finish getting made?
When did the campaign wrap up? Because you're in fulfillment now. So.
Oh yeah. So we went in demand for a while, and it was March. It wasn't that long ago. I can't believe I can't remember. We did a closing stream. It was all cute. We made Xavier of Graded Point 5 play.
Okay, let's find out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there's a link there.
There it is.
Maybe.
June 2nd, 2020.
June 2nd, 2020. Yeah, that is when it officially went in demand.
And it went in demand, and you just recently wrapped it up.
Yeah, we let it stay in demand until we were ready to print, and we decided to close it so we could go to print, and we knew our numbers, or our minimum numbers that we needed. And I'm trying to remember, I don't know, I think it was last month. It was last month, but
almost 1,200 backers.
Yeah. I've been super just blown away at how it was received for being like our first book, our first campaign. We're super nervous. We're still kind of nervous because now we're into our first fulfillment, and oh no, how's that going to be like?
And so from what I'm seeing, the official campaign ended on June 20th of last year with 783 backers. And by the time you wrapped up with In Demand, you had 1,177 backers.
Yeah.
So that's huge that In Demand, you got well over 1,000 backers just from In Demand.
Yeah, and when we went in demand, we kind of backed off on promoting because it's in demand. So usually we're focusing on helping active campaigns, like funding campaigns promote, and so we backed off of our own. So I do think it's really cool. We did have a few more goals we wanted to hit, and I think that's what pushed us even farther after going in demand was just, hey, there's this stuff that we haven't hit yet, but if we do, we'll still do what we said we're going to do if we hit those goals.
We'll still go up there and tick those off the chart. So it's very cool. I'm just getting bored, so I'm gonna be sharing stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm boring.
No, I'm just wondering what you're gonna eat for dinner, because it's like listening to the It's like listening to the crows from that Disney movie. That's the wrong one. There we go. And of course, I want to show where everybody can track you down in the Twitterverse. It's the amazing adventures of Piper.
Yay!
And, I'm trying to click the X on that on a page that I'm not on. There we go.
There I am. That is the main easiest way to find me. I'm not good at juggling multiple social media and stuff accounts, so I pretty much just have this one for social media.
So if you want to follow Piper, you can do it right there. I dropped it in the chat, so it's going. Where are we? We're on the Outright Geekery page on Facebook, their YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and about 24 nerd groups that we shared it to.
Nice.
Especially indie groups.
Yeah, this is definitely the easiest way. I mean, unless it's for business purposes, and then my email, I think, might be on there. I don't know. Or maybe just my website's on there.
Still the easiest. Or, if you want to send a non-explosive present or non-perishable food to Piper, her post office box is up there too.
Yeah, my P.O. box is on there. I'm going to still do, I'm taking a break from some of my streams, but I'm still going to do P.O. box opening streams. And hopefully some video content soon of just other stuff that's besides comics, because
you've been flooded. So you've got all these projects in the work, fulfillment, and how far are you guys into fulfillment right now?
We've got everything to pack up. So I dodged a bullet, and I don't have to actually do the fulfillment part myself. but Wayne and Xavier are going to do fulfillment, and they've got everything they need but the book. Every single other thing has come in, and the book has run into
problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but the book has run into printing problems, but that's what printing proofs are for. Mm-hmm. And so two different ones, I think, because of a cover mix-up too. So that's getting fixed, and essentially now we're just waiting on all of the books, all the different covers to come in.
All the multiple how many covers did you guys end up doing?
3.
Oh, that's not many.
Yeah.
That's a good amount. I see so many of these projects, and especially when it's like, a first time, somebody that this is their first campaign, and they're trying to do, like a dozen variant covers.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to skip out on the collectors. They go, you mean the collectors that slab every book they buy and don't read half of them?
Yeah.
I go, I mean, having like a few variants, so people they like to have at least a little bit of a choice between the covers they want.
Yeah.
I like to see like between 3 to 5 covers is good. And
yeah, I like having options, especially if a lot of times I'm broke, but the options are still cool if I like one more than the other, or I like the colors in one more than another. It's cool to have the options. I feel like you get to a point though with the covers that it starts to become predatory practices to me, where it's like this is like 20 different covers. I'm starting to like, is this a good book, or are you just hoping that collectors will snatch all these up, and that's how you sell them. Like, Marvel and them have done a few times where they're like, this is a #1, and there's 8 million different covers, and it's like, but how do people even know if they like this book yet? Like, you already have that many covers.
It made sense when they hit Action 1000 and Detective 1000.
Yeah. Those are established, like they're established stories. They definitely have their fan base. Let's give them a little something cool by releasing a bunch of variants, because this is a big deal.
And then they sold rights to stores, aka convention vendors, for like a few $1,000s to have their own special limited covers that they can overcharge for and flood the market with, which adds in to, DC only did like 10 covers. They did 10 covers and a sketch cover. And it made sense, like on the Batman one, it made sense. It was every decade of Batman.
Yeah.
So it was like, I go, oh, that's cool. And did I buy all 10? Yeah. And they take up an entire half of a shot box. But, hopefully I'll just slap them up on a wall one day so I can make room in a box.
Yeah.
Because I really only wanted the homage to Jerry Robinson's Joker cover with the twin 45s on it. I'm like, that's the one I wanted, but I know I had to buy all of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't get it because Joker covers are uber popular. So,
yeah. If nothing else, I like when I'm able to get multiple covers so that I have like, well, these are the ones that, I'll save because I think they're pretty and I might put them on display. Woo! When I finally get into a place where I can put them on display, and then here's the standard one that'll be for me for actually reading the book.
Oh yeah, I'll like read one. The only time I don't do that, and every once in a while I'll if my daughter's here, I'll have her take a picture of me where I'm actually opening like a signed and numbered copy to read, just to see how many people I can trigger in the comic verse, because like, you're touching it without gloves. I go, yeah, shut up or I'm gonna start eating a slice of pizza with it too. I don't care. It's a comic book. It's meant to be read.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. The collector's thing. Anything can be a collector's item if you want all of it, essentially. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, that's like, when I was a kid and I started to slightly older kid and I started to understand the concept of collector value, but I was still young enough to play with toys, and I would have this problem where I'm like, I want to take it out and play with it. But I know this is a rare-ish thing that I have here. But I want to take it out and play with it. Like, oh, that always sucked when I was like, just the right age where I'm like, crap, I still play with toys, but I
want to take it out and play with it, but then I get the shakes and I got to put it down.
I have that very thing, and it took one of my friends snatching it from me and opening it themselves and putting it together and displaying it on my little shelf. And they're like, doesn't it look a lot better? It's the decoration. Doesn't it look a lot better when it's serving its actual purpose? And I'm like, yeah.
No. Now I got to dust it before I could just take it.
Yeah, this is true.
I could just blow the dust off the cellophane on the package before. I go,
yeah.
That's why there's a window in these things, so you can put them up without opening them.
Yeah, you can still look at them. I do like the way it sits on the bookshelf, but I'm always worried because it comes with those two heads.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, the other head is just sitting right behind it, and I'm like, it's going to disappear one day, and I'm never going to see the other one again.
Yeah, because you have cats.
Yeah.
One day you're going to come home and have a coronary because the cats are playing hockey with Joker's head.
Right? Dude, they have ruined so much of my stuff. And like, I never intended to have cats. Cats just decided they lived here.
That's usually how that happens.
Yeah. I know, like, there was that meme going around where, like, I have no idea where this cat came from. This cat walked into just hopped in my car, and I don't know, like, this isn't my cat. Is this how you get cats? And I'm like, yep, that's how you get cats. It's almost like going, uh-oh, I think we've got ants or something. Like, uh-oh, we've got cats.
I did it to a bunch of girls I'm friends with that have decided that they don't want a man anymore. They're just gonna have cats because cats are more loving.
Oh.
I'm like, you are so wrong. So I used to share this meme, and it was like a house door open and like an army of cats walking in. And the meme said, "Hey, we heard you were 40 and single."
Right? I was like, when it comes down to cats or dogs, I actually prefer dogs. And so for the longest time, I'm like, I'm not going to be a cat lady. Nope, not going to be a cat lady. Not going to be a cat lady. Oh, damn it. That cat's injured and obviously homeless. Like, crap. And I'm like, there's one cat. Not going to be a cat lady. Oh, the neighbors freaking abandoned a freaking kitten after they took it from somewhere else. That's 2 cats. That doesn't make me a cat lady. No.
Friend of mine that I used to work with has become a massive crazy cat lady. And it's worse because everything gets delivered to the house now. So I think she has a gold card with that pet store online called Chew.
Oh no.
So she's got these big giant gerbil tents made for cats in her backyard by the pool. And they're like the pyramids with tubes that go through and connect. So the cats can sit out there, and it's like a mesh screening, so it kind of shades them. So they're like, yeah, we're outside. That's nice. And then she bought cat strollers.
Oh no.
So she dresses up the cats, puts them in the cat strollers, and then proudly walks down the street like a crazy lady.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's too much.
She also just put big fake eyelashes and lips on her new SUV. So
okay. Yeah, okay. I see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I've already I found out that neighbors that I don't even know, basically the people that just live around in these apartments in this weird little road I'm on, I've already dubbed me the animal lady, because if I try to walk the dog, I will often have cats following me. They don't want to walk like they want to go on the walk, but they don't. Like, it's weird. I tried the little cat harness leash thing, and they do that flop over, I'm dead, I can no longer walk, you have to drag me thing if they wear them. And I'm like, but I don't like y'all following me when I'm on the walk because I'm afraid y'all are going to like freak out at something and get hurt or something. But I will have cats following me, and I'll be constantly like, go home.
So now I have to ask, do you wear that headdress when you go out walking the dog? Because they just might be mistaking you for their cat god or something.
Nah, I know. I'm usually in like my workout clothes or something. Very dressed down.
The hoodie up and just kind of like walking the dog.
Yeah, I just treat it like instead of jogging, but I treat it as exercise. I'm about to finally break out the rollerblades I got for my birthday to try and level up my dog walking.
Okay, well, you have to film that and send me clips, because this should be hilarious of the dogs dragging you while you're on rollerblades.
Yeah. Friggin' Lobo has come a really long way when it comes to behavior, and especially on a leash. When I first brought him home, our first walk was he took off after a squirrel and drug me across my yard, like on my stomach. Like I just fell and there was this big old like streak across my yard, and there were neighbors outside. They had a blast watching that. He has come a really long way, but I think one of his issues is like, you don't walk fast enough. Like, I want more exercise. I don't want to walk. I want to like jog or something. So I was like, well, I'll try the rollerblades and maybe I can go a little bit faster. And he can get a little bit of a jog if he wants it. Plus, rollerblades are fun. So I'll play with them and get exercise regardless. But the last time I rollerblade, I realized this is like I was like 15 or something. So I'm like, it was fun then. I wonder if it's still just as fun.
No, because when you're 15 and you fall down, like, the next day you feel fine. When you're no longer 15 and you fall down, the next day you are not fine at all.
Yeah, like next day you're usually worse off than the day
You kind of like, that first day back to the gym.
Yeah.
You get all pumped up and you feel, you did cardio and you did some circuit weights and you feel great. You're all pumped up and you go home and you have a little snack and you pass out. And when you wake up, you feel like you get hit by a truck and you can't move.
Yeah, you're like, what happened? That happens to me. That's happened to me every time I've had to have a lapse. Because when I go back to the gym, I go back to the routine I was doing instead of, building back up to it. Yeah, I go right back to the routine I was doing. And I always have to learn. Apparently, I won't learn because this happens every time. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I can't do that. I need to build back up to that.
I can't move. Quick, Lobo, drag me on my rollerblades around the neighborhood.
Right? It'll look like I'm taking a walk. Yeah, but everybody, like all of my friends and a bunch of people have told me I have to film it. So I promised that my first time back on rollerblades after a gazillion years, I would film it. I was even given it's a knockoff, but those GoPros, it's like a knockoff GoPro to attach to the helmet. So I'm going to use that and my phone and try to record my first time back on rollerblades.
That should be a blast. I can't wait to see that. I'm like, my daughter's like, you can't have a dog, Dad. You're in a wheelchair. I go, and
right?
How are you gonna walk the dog? I go, my wheelchair goes faster than you, child. And I know this because, she's got bad anxiety. So if she acts up, I kind of like chase her with my wheelchair.
Oh no!
And when I get really mad, I jump up out of the wheelchair and do my stammer walk like she thinks I'm going to fall down, because I'm probably going to fall down. And I've had like a dozen different leg surgeries. I had sepsis, cellulitis, and acute fasciitis, which basically killed me. They had to put me into a medical coma because all the important organs went offline.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does just straight up take people out generally.
Yeah.
Damn. You weren't kidding.
I had all kinds of doctors afterwards, So I was, and then they started telling my friends and family, because you might want to start making arrangements now, because we don't think he's coming out. Because I was in a medically induced coma for a couple of months. So, Optimus Deadpool.
Hey, my brain died. I'm sitting here thinking about the coma thing, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here putting myself in the position. Like, that's always got to be really hard for the families when the doctors say something like that too. And then you're the family member going.
My daughter was very young, and she rode in the ambulance with me to the hospital. Then the hospital they brought me to couldn't do a bloody thing.
Ooh.
So I had to have my best friend, who she calls aunt and uncle, come to the hospital and pick her up. So and they took me to another hospital, and I was like, I'm going to be trapped at the hospital. I'm going to need a ride out of here. Optimus Deadpool enters chat. And people were like trying to call me and they couldn't get a hold of me. And then they found out like later on, he goes, yeah, he can't get a ride out of there. He's in a coma. And then they didn't move me around. They didn't move me around right. So, and when they did they did multiple operations for the fasciitis, and they cut a bunch of clusters. Who that?
Yeah, no, I know. You put them on screen, and I'm just like, I was so thinking about this story that I was like, I know that name. Where do I know that name from? Huh. Hi. Haven't heard that name in 50 years. Seen him just yesterday.
Their ears were ringing because they're hearing in the Eptaverse about, you know, you getting on rollerblades and letting Lobo drag you around the neighborhood, and it got to be on video. So like, where can I sign up?
Right. I've had a lot of nice days, and the only reason that I haven't done it yet is mostly because of like the days after the nice days. I'm like, all right, so when do I have time to possibly be laid up in bed for, you know, this many days to this many days? I need to schedule for one day, for one event even. It might be a short clip even on rollerblades. I need to schedule a chunk of days. So it might actually, if the weather stays all right, might actually end up being this weekend. I might actually have roped somebody into helping me record, so it's not just like me trying to capture it, because I feel like that'll just add to the risk of falling down, me trying to capture me rollerblading.
It's like, bring 2 phones, have one on standby just in case we need the ambulance.
Yeah. Like, here, use mine to record, and then I've got this helmet cam that hopefully works. Oh, that's right. I need to find a I need to get a freaking, I don't know, SD card for it, or super micro SD, really tiny one. Might have one in another camera. That's why I haven't ordered one. That's the other thing holding me up, is I need to get around to finding out if I need an SD. But hopefully soon. I'm excited.
And I know who that is because he just subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop, whoop. So now I want to start asking you questions like, is there anything that you're not working on that you're reading since you're editing stuff?
Whew, I've been reading all the stuff that I'm editing. Then I feel bad because the stack of to read includes a book, a whole novel from somebody I swore I was definitely like, you know, I'm gonna read their novel, and then a stack of comics I'm behind on from like friends' comics and stuff. And it's one of those like when most of my work. There was a time when a lot of my work was cleaning work. And I'm like, and the last thing I want to do is come home and freaking clean this place too. So it's kind of like that, where I'm like, I'm reading all day. I want to relax by playing video games or something where I don't have to read. So I feel bad because I'm getting behind, but I am actually reading, I have no idea how in the world I ended up starting to read this, but I'm reading a random Korean webcomic, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I know you don't read Korean, so.
Right. Well, it's yeah, so it's translated, but I'm pretty sure it's still like originally Korean. And I think it was originally like a webcomic because I'm reading it as a webcomic, but it's called Dice, the cube that changes everything. And that's the kick I've been on when I'm not reading everybody else's stuff, which again, I feel really guilty about that stack of comics that, you know, I've promised I would read, and I was promised I would review them. is the fact that when I'm not reading comics from people I know, I'm reading Korean comics now. Like
From people you don't know.
from people I don't know.
Well, there you go. At least you're reading something different.
Yeah.
And Kyle Ritter has entered the chat.
Oh, snap. You should have put a challenge your peers.
Well, I'm doing fine, and we're in Piper's Pit.
Piper's Pit. I think so Kyle can't hear. But I believe he said that he is good at reading lips, and some of these streams do give captions live, which is neat. I don't know if they all do. I don't know how that works.
I'm not sure how it works either. I know there was an era in the captions. I had the creator of Sunrise Blossom on that's on the dreaded Indiegogo site, but it's international.
Though I can't read lips on stream, I have live captions on. Duh. Hey, there was that one stream where you said the captions weren't working, but it's okay because you could read lips. But it's fun when the captions are working too, because when the captions mess up, he's in the chat like, excuse me, because he'll repeat what the caption said. And I'll be like, well, no, I did not say that, I swear.
A gerbil does what?
Right?
Well, she was talking about her book, and it's like fairies and harpies, but the translation on the text didn't come up harpies, it came up herpes.
Oh
no. Which led to the joke, I want to buy this book. It's got harpies with herpes. And this has gone into a long running joke going on like 3 months, and I just had her on the chat. She just fully funded over the last couple of days, so congratulations to her.
Heck yeah, congratulations on your herpes book, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's and everybody's gonna get that book, and they're gonna get that herpes harpy book, and they're gonna get to keep that shit like for life, like luggage.
Yeah. And hope, with any luck, they'll spread it around too.
That's the hope, that's the hope.
Yeah, see? I wasn't lying.
So, did they say how long it was going to take to do the corrections on the book?
No. Actually, Optipops in the chat might know. He's the one that is settled with that grunt work that I am so glad I don't have to do.
Hey,
logistics are not my thing.
Optigrunt.
Optigrunt.
Optigrunt. What's going on with the book, man? So I know you guys want to pack all this stuff up and, piss off your local post office by showing up with like an SUV full of, Gemini 2 mailers and boxes and all kinds of good stuff.
And then you get to be like, oh, okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes with more.
It's almost like it's worth it to rent like a small tow trailer from U-Haul to put like all the extras in and just canvas it up and just drive it down the road.
Yeah. Depending on where the how far the post office is, it might even be more cost efficient to like rent a U-Haul for a day or for a few hours instead of making back and forth trips.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
I know a lot of people I've talked to have been like, dude, I just signed up with stamps.com and I got the scale and I got this and I got the printer with it and I slap it on there and it's already prepaid and I save a bunch of money, and then I just show up and I'm here with drop-offs. They're already paid. and then their face gets like all dull because they get excited every time they take a whole bunch of money from somebody, and because postage is ridiculous now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like personally when I send stuff, those flat rate boxes have been amazing.
Thank you, Kyle. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
I don't know where Optipops went, but yeah, that's the only thing we're waiting on. The last episode of Graded Point 5, he even whipped out, he showed everybody that we have everything. We're just waiting on them books.
Just the books.
Yeah.
And you've got all the Oompa Loompas all lined up to pack the boxes and haul them out, and because
Yeah,
you're gonna
him and Xavier get to do that. But I do need to start drawing my. I didn't want to do the sketch cards really early and then be sitting on a stack of sketch cards just in case they get messed up because there's fucking cats here. So I didn't want to do them too early, but now that they were this far along, I'm going to start doing those, and I'm excited and nervous. I'm excited and nervous about people getting those, and I'm super excited but nervous about when people start getting their books, like, and start reading them. Like, I'm excited for the feedback, but I'm nervous for the feedback.
you can never tell what happens, but I mean, it looked great, and I mean, I've seen clips of it before because over on the CromCon where you cannot get the crud.
Yeah, it's a crud-free com.
And seeing all the stuff you guys are working on, and it was just funny to me because his other book that you've worked on, that you guys talked about the last time you were on there, is the same name that somebody else has on their book. Same title, same number of issues, no similarities whatsoever.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Is that the hybrids one?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's why too that he's got it broken down into arcs too. But also in individual issues. And I think that's why it has a subtitle, Hybrid Sons of Gods. Because I can imagine there being plenty of hybrids named stuff because of what hybrids is. So that's probably why he's got that subtitle. Or, yeah, whatever.
That thing.
That thing. The
The
additional bit under the title. To kind of differentiate it a bit more.
And it was just weird to me because I talked to him about a month and a half before all this other stuff went down with Arrow, and one of the things he was excited about is the old label. We'll just say TF, and he bought like rolls and rolls of that custom tape to seal up his Gemini mailers with.
Ooh.
And now he's going to buy rolls and rolls of tape with Arrow 4.0.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt change, but it's a positive change.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know. I've got two of Arrow's books that they just did on Indiegogo coming in.
Nice.
I put him over the 2K mark. I wanted to make sure it went over while he was doing Sunday Funnies one morning because he was Randy was actually kept putting the thing up there. Come on, we're stuck in this slump. Somebody please get us over the $2,000. And I'm like, okay. And I love the art of the jetpack girl there. It's like I go, oh man, this looks awesome. But then I was kind of guilted into buying the other one because I know Daphne and I know Russ, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna catch flack on one of the episodes if I go and show off the book, and it's not one with their cover on it. It's somebody else's. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get both because what's the worst thing that could happen? My daughter could read the other one. If she'll read something that's not on her iPad, I'd be thrilled.
It's not a furry stream.
We're thrilled.
Rawr. Grr. Mew. Whatever.
Man, that's an ugly cat on the other side in black and yellow. It's the biggest bumblebee I ever fucking saw. I'm like, oh, blue furries. Oh, that's you.
And this is purple. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, Norm. It's going to be black and blue furies after this weekend. Somebody's bright idea of letting Lobo drag her around on rollerblades through the neighborhood this weekend. There will be video footage.
Ears.
Everybody's like, what? Wait.
Yeah, I'm working on some entertaining stuff. If I fall down, if I hurt myself, I should remember to be like, are you not entertained? Is this not what you came here for?
Hey, if it goes down just right, that MP4 clip could just be, a perk in the next campaign.
Yeah, hide it behind a paywall, maybe. Unlock.
Yeah. Unlock this. Be prepared for Piper to eat you out if you're naughty, Norm Lenhart. Well, I'm not.
Well, now.
Southern Comfort, it'll be fine.
I like SoCo. SoCo's good stuff.
Wait, does it make sense? My English isn't that good.
You liar.
I'm sorry.
You big liar. You know what you did.
I was like blushing as I was reading that.
Right? Y'all dirty.
And I'm like, man, I worked in strip clubs for 30 years as a disc jockey, so
y'all being dirty over there. And then
damn it. Can't read his lips. He's holding it up to the coffee cup. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, hold the MP4 behind a paywall.
Yeah, or make it a stretch goal or something. If we reach this many backers, we'll play the clip on Graded Point 5. You can see it for the first time ever. There.
300 backers, and you'll get to see me dragged around on rollerblades from my Kyle. Oh my.
Yeah, definite. Oh my. I don't believe you on the second part. Yeah.
There's a pole behind me, but I don't spin around it. I just drive my wheelchair around it. It's there so I don't take a shortcut through the apartment. Just like, oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Boy, this has taken a devilish turn. So, Korean webcomics.
Yeah. So I started with oh shoot, what was it?
Dice.
Dice wasn't the first one I stumbled on. First, it was Lookism. And then shoot. I'm trying to remember the names of the other ones. There was two that was kind of similar. Solo Leveling, and one that felt similar to it at first that had a yeah. That's far less, slightly less innuendo, a little bit. A little bit less innuendo there. Can be taken as innocent if did not know you.
Guilty by association.
Let's see. Lookism, Solo Leveling, something about artifacts, but I can't remember what it's called. And then and then this dice one. There's another one I can't remember the name of, but it was like not normal, but not common, but I don't know. Some word that unordinary, I think it was called. But that one and I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that one was Korean. But that one, like, the plot got stupid. There's no good character development, so I dropped it. But these other ones have been pretty neat.
Cool. And tell us an ongoing project right now that's still in the funding phases that you would recommend that looks good.
Oh, that would definitely be Luke Stone's Hybrid Sons of Gods, The Killing Field, Part 1 and 2. Technically, it's Part 2, but Part 1 is available for people catching up.
Yeah, I got a little upset because I wanted that black cover.
Yeah, those are neat.
And I'm like, why is that not involved in a catch-up tier?
Oh yeah, because they're rare. Yeah, the black ones were the super low number ones, so you can get the black cover for Part 2, but I'm pretty sure getting the black cover for Part 1 was a limited time thing during Part 1's campaign.
Yeah, I didn't see the limited cover for Part 1. I saw the one for Part 2, and I was like, he was on one of Pop's Monday night streams, and I was like, and Pops is sending me a thing. He goes, "Hey, if you're done, come on over." And I'm like, "Okay." I go, "Why can't I get this on a catch-up tier?" "Oh, well, you got to buy that separately." I go, "Can I get it as an add-on?" And at that time, he didn't have add-ons. And I'm like,
whoa.
Explosion outside. Sound like somebody's tire blew up.
Dang. Yeah, I have the black cover for Part 1. It's even neater, like in person. Like the pictures don't quite do justice to how it turned out.
Yeah. But even when you blew up that shot, it's just like, wow, this just looks awesome. How's it going on Starbleeds? Looks good from what I can see.
Yeah, that's Kyle's book. But and on this Killing Field, I don't know, campaign, you can get early the with a special cover, the remastered version of the first comic, because they're all going to get re-released through Arrow, and Arrow does more pages, so we get to put in stuff that we had to cut before.
Extra content.
Yeah, and that's why there was room in the first one to put a little teaser for Rift Riders, in there. So through that campaign, you can get a foil. I think it's a shiny chrome. I can't remember. It's a special cover.
90s goodness.
Right. It's a special cover of the remastered. And there's a limited number of them before they go out through Arrow, and you need to go through Arrow to get it.
So you have to have your local comic shop contact Arrow 4.0 or sign up with Liberty Distribution.
Yep. And it won't be the special cover. It'll be the normal ones.
Mm-hmm.
So this campaign is pretty cool to get in on. It's definitely he spruced things up for the creator. I mean, not creator, collectors.
Cool.
Got such good response on some other stuff that he was like, all right, I'll give you more stuff, sure.
More pages.
Yeah, and more pages.
That happened with Rich Davis's Cult of Dracula. He was publishing solo, and then he was self-publishing rather, and then he got picked up by one small press publisher, and then he got picked up by another publisher. So now everything's getting remastered, and he's basically adding like his version of the Dresden Files in the back of the remastered ones. But it's what's his name? I'm braining out. I can tell because I'm still flushed from somebody's comments earlier.
Yeah, the mental images are.
Yeah, and the Starbleeds. You mean Starblades? And reviews are so amazing.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even read it as not Starblades. I didn't notice the typo.
I typo, therefore I am looking forward to getting it, and I will give the editor review and email it to you. Very nice. The guy who hunts down Dracula all the time. That I can't remember his name of right now, but that character, it's going to be files that he has on various creatures, through that series, and since switching up, the number one sold out everywhere, and he ended up being able to get this gorgeous Shannon Mayer cover on the first issue. And I was just
nice.
And he got it blown up into a poster that's, in his office at the house. So it was like behind him when I was interviewing him. And I'm like, I want one of those. It's also been his book's also been picked up by a small producer to make a movie as well.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Cool. That's it. Van Helsing. The Van Helsing files.
Yeah, for some reason my brain was dying because I was like, I know so many different things that use Dracula, and they have like different hunters for every single one of them, and my brain was naming everything but the one I wanted.
Yeah, I'm like. So thanks, Norm, because man, and I was getting mad at myself because I'm like, how come I can't think this out? I've watched like every Dracula movie since I was like 5.
I was getting frustrated because my brain kept going, Belmont. And I'm like, no, it's Castlevania's Dracula, not this one. Like, fighting with myself, like, it's not that. That's the wrong Dracula.
How can you make me suffer? Steal the beer in my fridge? But warning, I'm a Second Amendment guy, so you might get hurt. I'd rather share than get robbed.
I can give you editor reviews too. I feel bad because I promised I was going to do that for a lot of people, but I was going to make a video series out of it, so they haven't gotten their reviews yet because I haven't finished making them. I feel like maybe I should have just like emailed them and been like, "Yep," and given. I need to give a more in-depth anyway because the videos are going to be like 1 minute per book, just breaking down what works and what might not.
It's like the rivalry in the chat. Yeah, I do that too because being tied into Outright Geekery, and I was doing a series called 5-minute reviews on video because, well, I'm lazy and I have a camera now, so they were never 5 minutes, ever.
I'm trying to do it worse because my idea was 5 in 5, which was supposed to be 5 reviews in 5 minutes, dedicating a minute per comic, and I'm like, man, but at least that should that should cut down my and stuff like that, or rambling, and get straight to like really, because I want to just give a bam, 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 keep doing this, maybe not do this. Like, so I'm hoping it turns out. I'm still freaking working on just the intro for them.
Oh, you're writing the forward for them too.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a little intro, and that doesn't count towards the 5 minutes. And a tiny little outro, and that's not going to count towards the 5 minutes. But the middle part is going to be a minute per book. And the other thing I'm hung up on is some of them are PDFs, so I don't know, like, if I want to just hold the book up or show images on the screen while talking. I'm bad at this.
No one can be paid.
I am just now learning how to do video things. Streaming is one thing, but video things are different.
Filming and editing and all that stuff.
And a lot of the times that I've tried, the biggest problem is in streaming, even if I'm the only one on screen, I'm talking to an audience, hopefully. I'm talking to an audience, or I'm talking to somebody else on the screen. Even solo streaming took getting used to. But, as long as the audience has stuff to say, then I could do it. But recording a video where I'm talking to nobody, I'm just talking, and then I'm like, and this sounds stupid, cut, erase, and like.
Solo streaming was meant for people like me who have 90 conversations going on in the back of their skull at the same time. So I just practice them, and then I forget what the hell I'm talking about.
Nice.
It's entertaining. It's like, well, this is what it looks like inside a mental patient's head. I'd actually like to see serious reviews on CG books. I mean, let's face it. We have the mainstream to show creators how not to write books. We should be able to top it easily across the board. Yeah, mainstream. Quit writing the same story over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know I wanted them originally to focus on like indies, to like just give like blips of advice for like their next book or what have you. And I've been really trying my best to resist the urge, because I've had the urge sometimes to just be like, no, I want to review this mess, this mainstream mess of a comic right here. And I'm like, I cannot keep that in 1 minute. I can't. There's no way I could do those on my show, because there's no way I could keep all the problems, listing all the problems to a minute, let alone finding anything good in under a minute. Like, hire a proofreader. You need an editor, bruh. It looks like you got one right there with Norm, though.
there would be nothing worse than if you're the editor of the book and you write your editor review, and then you finish it off with, maybe next time you should hire a good editor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the outro, is my business contacts and everything. And
I'm going to write 2 pages on my way out. And the first page is going to be my review. And the second page is just going to be my pedigree in the business.
Right? My pedigree rates, maybe. I don't know. Nah. But maybe the pedigree. Indeed.
But that's it's been some interesting things going on, as of late, indie wise. I've been selling a whole bunch of key issues that I had in my collection of mainstream stuff. I will only do private reviews for money from now on. Uh-oh.
Exactly. If you can't get a pro set of eyes, just get a couple of different sets of eyes from people will call you on stuff. Like, because, find people that for a fact are not going to spare your feelings so that you can get some honest critique back.
Like me. I'm an asshole. Did these pants make me look fat, hon? Nope. You being fat makes you look fat. And I can say that because I'm fucking fat. I lost 225 pounds and I'm still fat.
Damn. Fine.
I was up to you crippled sitting in a power recliner. What else is there to do but, drink, eat ice cream and potato chips? So more eyes the better, and honesty. People using my reviews to sell books say they're going to take care of me and then ghosting me.
Oh, that is not cool. I mean, I've been there, but that is... Man, that's still not cool.
Well, I'm definitely not going to show the book next to me because I know who ghosted them.
Oh.
They sent me the book he wanted.
Damn. That's cold-blooded.
Yeah. But, live and learn. Ruin it for everybody else and laughing his ass off at my comments. I better get going to get C on Norm Linehart's review scored then.
C's still passing in school, at least.
Oh, damn, was I typing out loud?
I've had them moments.
Yep. It happens. So what else do you have coming up in the future once fulfillment is done?
Graded Point 5 has a book that they were we're advertising technically before Peregrine. So it's finally getting the love it needs. So it gets to be next.
Oh, cool.
That's Midnight Cowboy. It's it's funny as hell. I don't want to give too much away because I can't remember how much they gave away because then we went into Peregrine mode and just boom. But keep an eye out, ear out, what have you for Midnight Cowboy and the second Peregrine eventually. and I will be doing more Riff Rider stuff. I will keep editing for Luke as long as he'll have me, and the story I'm writing for the Twisted Fairy Tales, which is being produced by the CG UK Bargain Bin Show. I've already gotten talking to somebody about because I'm allowed to take that story and use it other places and build on it and stuff like that. So I've already been talking to somebody that's interested in doing a like a full length story of the same nature, or even including the part that I wrote in the Twisted Fairy Tales. So that's kind of exciting.
So it would be like a, that would be a launch point for it.
Yeah.
Like a sample of like a much bigger story.
Yeah. Which is kind of what Rift Riders is going to be in the back of that Arrow comic, the hybrid one. So, and then Rift Riders will have its own book too. So many writings. Lobo, quit it. And not this year. Probably after the second Peregrine, I am going to be working on a solo book for one of the characters that appears in Peregrine.
Oh, cool.
A lot of stuff. I have plenty of stuff to stay busy with, which means my video games are legitimately and literally covered in a layer of dust, and it makes me sad.
It's like 5 minutes of gaming in the morning, 5 minutes of gaming before bed.
Yeah.
And, that's it. Just enough to wake you up in the morning and take the edge off at night.
Right? I've actually been writing myself a new schedule I wanted to start sticking to, where I scheduled in time to not be working, because it's either graphic work or artwork on the computer, or writing work or editing work at the computer, or housework. And I was like, well, I'm going to squeeze in here for an hour right here. Have fun.
Lobo was getting anxious. He heard about the rollerblades. Rollerblades Central.
He might not know what to make of them.
Well, let's hope he doesn't attack him.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I'm hoping that he will have fun, but I'm also worried about him knocking me down, not just pulling me, but knocking me down, because he is definitely like, he always gets disappointed that I'm just not very like as fast as him. When I'm letting him run out and play, without a leash, and I'm out there with him, the main thing he wants to play is like catch. So it could be like some background listening while dang.
Oh, Xenosaga. Oh, good.
That's funny.
Because for this one, the back of my head was bow chicka wow wow.
I was thinking Xenosaga when he did it. I friggin' didn't realize he misspelled it at first.
You're just reading all the corrected versions of. You're just reading all the corrected versions of all his typings.
Yeah. My brain is auto correcting. Yeah.
Yeah, just auto correcting. It's like, this is what it would look like after I fixed his mess ups.
Yeah. Best game movie ever.
Norm would just be playing Xenosaga instead of playing with his Xeno sausage, and that's the end of that story.
Ooh, well, snap. All y'all dirty over here.
Did you not hear my pedigree of working in strip clubs for 30 years?
My kind of peoples, y'all. I need a proofreader too.
So we already know this name that you have down the bottom for yourself. What do you sound that out as when you tell people, look for
Oh, Fizz Giggity.
Fizz Giggity?
Yeah. It's Fizz Gig and Giggity. Right. You don't like everybody else already gone full on. You'd be fine. Aww.
So this has been cool when, you know, I haven't been getting my, you know, my mic muted by Pops. Hi, Pops. And not getting interrupted by somebody having to keep chasing their children to bed. You know who you are.
Dude, I'm guilty of that in early streams. A lot of early streams for me is me freaking forgetting to mute and yelling at the kid to go back to bed.
Get in bed now. My daughter doesn't like to be on camera, so if she sneaks out and realizes I'm doing a podcast from her bedroom, she'll like you just see like this hooded figure just like streaking to the kitchen and streaking back to her room with popsicles.
Oh no.
You know, she gave up yelling at me a couple of times. She came out and she yelled at me as she's running across the room. Turn off the camera.
That just brings more attention to her when she does that.
And I'm like, oh man, it's a good thing you're my kid and I love you. That way I'm not swearing at you. She swears at me quite a bit, but
yeah, see, my son is about to be 16 now, and he like loves like various YouTubers and friggin' so now his big thing is usually trying to get heard by pranking me while I'm trying to stream. But I don't think he's trying to get seen. I think he's still at least avoiding that.
Yeah, my daughter doesn't want to be seen, but yeah, she's following like YouTubers, but she'll go and like stalk my YouTube channel page.
Oh no.
And she's like, Dad, you did reaction videos? That's so 2016. I'm like, no, my dear daughter, in 2016, your father was lying for dead in a coma. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I had a trach, too.
Oh, snap.
They had me on a double morphine drip. For some people, morphine is good. For me, morphine bad.
Oof.
Because all I did the entire time until they stopped the drips was hallucinate very badly.
Oh, damn.
At one point, I thought I was the Joker and I was about to rip Harley Quinn's throat out. And in reality, what I was doing is I took my trach and ripped it out of my own throat and threw it across the room.
Dang, dude.
I also thought I was standing up, and I was not, because I was paralyzed from, you know, both legs were paralyzed from the coma. So it took me 2.5 years to be able to, you know, even get like, you know, limited mobility and stuff. So I'm like, well, I can get around now, so I'm all happy. I have comic books, and I'm selling comic books. And as soon as I sell comic books, I go on and back indie comic books and buy more comic books.
It's a vicious cycle.
Oh,
I've noticed that a lot of what I get paid for like editing comic books just goes sometimes right back into the same person's campaign. Where I'm like, well, I want to be cool and I want to buy, this copy of the book. So because you already paid me. You don't need to pay me in books too. But then it hits me later, like, so I gave the money back by backing the book I worked on.
You have to take the comp copy and then take the money that you were going to give back to them and give it to somebody whose book you did not edit.
Yeah. Well, plenty of it still goes to other people's books that I haven't edited either. So, but but yeah, it seems to cycle. It just
Look, with all the meds I'm on, you're lucky I'm not starring now. I'm not starring because Piper's on, but Pops, that's when, I do 4 hours of my stream, and then I join in for 8 hours of your Friday night stream, and then 12 hours on Saturday, and then Sunday after my 30th cup of coffee, my body's just like,
this is a lot of streaming.
Yeah. It could be I was possibly bored by a certain person, but here we go. One question. Which comics do you really want to edit so bad, Piper?
Edit so bad because they're bad and need editing, or edit so bad because I want to be on that team or on that book in general? That's the question. Now I'm gonna be at CromCon on what is today?
Friday.
The 21st. I'm gonna be on I'm on the Sunday of the next CromCon.
So next weekend.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say, but instead I found a really weird long way to say it.
I'm on there, but what day is it? Yeah, today's the 21st, and you are on the 30th.
Yeah.
What time slot?
7, I think. I'll reconfirm that because I freaking write things way too many different places.
Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to start a fight.
Oh, snap. So I was raised DC fan, and my sister is hardcore, strictly DC fan. However, I discovered Marvel, so I'm pretty much half and half. I might like more Marvel characters than DC characters, I think. But for the most part, I'm half and half. Just like the Star Wars, Star Trek thing, I'm in both camps.
Me too.
My dad was Star Wars. My mom is a Trekkie. My dad is into Star Wars. So I'm into both.
Let's see.
Part 2. Oh, 6.
6 p.m. and she's kicking off part 2
on the 30th.
I'll be awake.
And I will bring cool things to show everybody. Yeah, when it comes down to the movies, until recently, because I'm just kind of done with Disney, but when it came down to the movies, yeah, Marvel figured out how to do entertaining movies, and DC, bleh. But when it came down to the animation, DC, I think might still be killing it with animation.
DC is still killing it with the animation, and Marvel's still killing it with the shows and the movie.
Yeah, Marvel's kind of got Marvel's got live action down, and DC, no. DC just can't seem to really do live action. I give an exception for Shazam. I actually really enjoyed myself at that movie. I had fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was just disappointed that it was like, really, of all the stories you had in the archives, you had to choose the new 52.
Yeah, there is that, but honestly, I think because of how bad like DC live action and DC movies have been, that I was just so pumped that it wasn't this dark, gritty bullcrap that it like felt like a comic book movie. So I was like, I'll take what I can get.
Luke Hex Edward following Piper. Going
Heck
to be a
yeah.
good segment. DC animated movies, awesome. Live action movies, meh.
Yeah.
Although that 4.5 hour Snyder cut was pretty damn good.
I think it was better than what we were originally given.
Mm-hmm.
But but I'm like, but it's still a
still,
DC live action movie, and it's still pretty meh.
Yeah, and corporate still made them like leave stuff out, like Martian Manhunter was supposed to be Hal Jordan or John Stewart or somebody, and they're like, nope, don't put him in, don't put him in.
I'm not sure which thing he's agreeing with, my opinion on Snyder Cut or my opinion on Shazam.
Release the Piper cut.
Man, I would do DC some good if they would just let me have full control of their movies. Production.
The Piper cut could be released after this weekend, and the
the Piper, we can call it a cut. The Piper potential face plant.
The face plant, the dragged through the park plant.
Yeah.
Man, I hope Lobo doesn't jump into the lake or something.
Luckily enough, there's nowhere. The worst he can do is no. I don't think he would be able to get me into traffic. That's too far. Lobo, quit it. The Piper Pot. The Piper Wipeout. I'm trying to think of a clever name for wasted.
The Pipe Out.
The Pipe Out.
Pipe Out. It's like the Piper Pot. I go, well, no, but I have a Joker Pot.
There you go. Wiping Piper. Yeah, if it's that, what caption said? Oh, the caption said the Piper Pot. Yeah, I don't even know what I said anymore.
That's where you get the I said harpies, but it printed up herpes.
Piper Pot has a ring to it. I don't know what to do with that, but it's got a ring to it.
You know?
I should make some kind of like freaking, I don't know, a game where you win the Piper Pot, and that'd be gambling. Nerp. Pot of Piper's gold.
It's still gambling.
It is.
It could be a scratch ticket that somebody could possibly win some original art off a scratch ticket on the next campaign.
That's kind of cool idea.
Everybody gets a scratch ticket, and there's only like one winner, and it's
yeah. You just stick the scratch cards like in the books, and maybe make a couple of them winning tickets, and just that would be cool.
And the rest of them, when you scratch it off in big giant bold block letters, just says loser.
Oh. That's not nice. We're gonna make it say pwned.
Because that's so much better.
I got dinner.
Woohoo!
It manifested itself. Oh. Well, that's... Ah! All right.
Woohoo! on that note, we will end the stream so Piper can go have dinner.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming and hanging out and chewing the soon-to-be dinner. And we'll look forward to everything you have going on. And we will see you next week on CromCon.
I had a lot of fun here.
It was very interesting, except for the part that I blushed because somebody wrote something bad multiple times. It's like, I won a ticket. And I looked down and said, loser.
Oh.
That's because the police gave you that ticket. That's a different kind of thing.
Lobo chill.
All right, with the Lobo cry and the dinner delivery, we are out of here. And make sure you follow Piper on Twitter, because that's the only place she will see you, because social media is hard. And so we're sitting around here while you have a bag full of food to eat. So thanks for coming out and hanging out, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah, I'll see y'all.